did I wake you up? She's like, who's clapping? Who's clapping? All right, you're gonna come over here. Maybe this is a better spot for you, or on the beanbags. Good girl. There you go. Go by the beanbag. Okay, sorry.
Okay.
We can make this a world most interesting podcast.
Hello, ladies.
Hey.
Here we are. A few months later.
Yeah, I haven't seen you guys in so long.
Yesterday.
Yes, we had a walk yesterday
Oh, nice.
under the super moon
You were
that you didn't
outside.
see. Yeah.
Oh wow.
For
Yeah.
like an hour. Nice walk.
That was
just
nice.
Talking about
Yep.
stuff.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heavy stuff.
Well, stuff that we talk about here,
Yeah.
like women being caught in complicated relationships.
Yes. Yes.
Hot topic.
Yeah. It's like everywhere I look, everyone's dealing with stuff, and that
Yes.
comes out in relationships, like so.
Yeah.
Like the first place we learn about these things. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So is this about like your own experience or people in your life who are dealing with
most
stuff?
people in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're talking
Some
about a friend,
of
yeah.
mine who are like, I can see it and I tell them, but they still don't. It's up to them to do their work. I'm not gonna hand them their. You can't make.
You can't.
people change or take action. Then you just
Yeah.
observe and.
All right. Well,
Like,
that was a great
listen.
podcast.
Okay, so you're
All right.
on your own.
I'll see you next week.
This is going really well.
Yeah. Okay.
No, it's so hard when you
Yeah,
see someone
I know.
struggling.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm sure. Yeah,
This is the thing. That person tells you the things that she sees, and she knows they're not right. But there is one step that she's not.
well, there's a block
Yeah,
there. It's like I
yeah.
can see this, but also I can't act on it. Yeah.
But also we're seeing a pattern, like she has a friend like this, I have a friend like this. It's all these women caught in, like smart, intelligent women caught in mostly narcissistic relationship where they see what's going on, but it's so hard to get out, right? It's almost it takes huge strength, and then as a friend it's kind of heartbreaking somewhere to kind of see them going through the struggles, see them being conscious of the struggle, but then not having the tools to get out of it. But like Lam said, they have, at the end of the day, you can be an ear for someone, you can, just support them, but they have to do the work. They have to do the work, yeah.
It gets interesting when it's like, yes, you can be there supportive and listen, but then when you hear the same thing over and over and
Yes.
you see the loop, I've found it's sometimes hard to be that supportive friend when I'm hearing the same thing over and over
At
again.
some point you just say, I don't know what I can do for you right now.
Yeah.
Like this has been going on for quite a while, and you come back to me with the same message all the time. It's like, what do you want from me?
Yeah.
Like, I just keep listening to you and telling you, okay, you're gonna be fine. It's like, what else?
Yeah.
I don't know. Some people, they just want to be validated or something. I
But
don't know.
over and
and
over.
over again.
Yeah.
Like, at some point, it becomes just.
Yes.
And so then you're in this already very isolated situation
Yeah.
when you're with an abuser in an abusive
Yeah.
situation, and now you become even more isolated because your friends don't want to hear it anymore. They
that's
know,
keep
they
telling
see
you,
the
Get
pattern,
out of there.
and you, for whatever reason, you can't.
You can't live like this. You have to take action, and then you just keep postponing and say, and it may be okay. I don't know.
Well-
Anyway, I feel for them. You just have empathy for them, but I don't know. It's just,
Well, yeah, I mean, I have a friend like a sister, and we've been through an intervention where she was taken out of an environment that was toxic for her, but she went back, and now she wants to go through the whole, like, can you believe he did this, and can you believe he
Yes,
did that?
I can believe it.
So that's difficult because you're like, I still want to be there for her. I still understand that it's like an addiction, you know,
Yeah.
because there is no, in her case, like children or something really concrete and tangible that hooks you there, you know. It's really just emotions and
It's her own hooks, those internal hooks.
Her own.
Yeah.
So it's hard to see someone go through that, because I feel like in this scenario, and maybe not for the case we were talking about yesterday or for other people, but it becomes like an addiction, like a substance addiction.
Yes.
But it's a chemical addiction. It's the brain gets chemical pangs and is addicted to feeling these cocktails, and the only person that makes her feel these cocktails is this guy in this relationship. And it's like hating feeling like that, but not being able to stop it. Although she went through a cycle where, you know, and she still kind of tells me, like, I need someone to do it for me. Like, I need someone to intervene. But we have multiple times, and she goes back. So that's hard.
Yeah.
That's hard because, yeah, it's like having a junkie
Yeah.
in a way.
Well, I imagine it does. Whatever those
yeah.
brain chemical receptors are for drugs, the same, those dopamine and serotonin.
Codependency.
Yeah.
It's like you're dependent
On chemicals or a relationship.
Yeah, whatever makes this person makes you feel. There's something that your body and your brain got used to, and they feel like you feel that you belong there, or it's the devil you know better than. There's always fear. Like, if I leave, maybe I'm not. See, like the person I was speaking to, she told me, well, if I leave him, I don't know if I'm gonna find somebody that's gonna be better. I'm like, why are you thinking about somebody else? Think about yourself. I was like, you're already projecting into
key.
the next relationship. I said, this is not good for your health right now. So why, even if you never meet somebody, you're gonna be much better than what you are experiencing right now. And she was like,
Yeah.
she's like, it's like, can't you not just be you by yourself? I felt like she was kind of a J-Lo situation, where she just jumps from a relationship to a relationship. Cannot be
By herself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, until the thought of, even if I don't find anything else, even if nothing else, like, I would rather that than this. And until you reach that rock
when you
bottom.
love yourself. When you learn to love yourself and love the company of yourself, it's not gonna happen. I think, yeah.
Well, I don't, but he can't.
Before you get there, though, like Kate said, I think you have to hit that kind of rock bottom where you just, it becomes such a hell that you'd rather anything else.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It becomes a matter of life or death.
Kinda, I
basically.
guess. Yeah.
And some people end up dead. Like,
Yeah.
they stay and they just.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah. That's exactly what it was for me. Like, I could look back and realize, oh, September 22nd, 2018, that's the day I started to love myself. But at the time, it wasn't, oh, look at me, I'm loving myself. It's like, I got to get the fuck out of this.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
if I stay here any longer, there's no way I survive this. Like, it's really what it came down to. But yeah, later, once you start healing, you have time alone, and you can really, like, kind of start processing what happened to you. Then you can look back like, oh yeah, that's the day I decided that my well-being was what I needed, was better than, was more important than showing up for anyone else. Like, how can I show up for anyone else if I'm not here anymore? If I'm just a husk of myself. But yeah, until that, but it has to get scary.
Like a click that happens, and I had the same thing. I was thinking, like, if I stay in this relationship, I'm gonna die. And it's like a survival mode.
It is,
that
survival.
just gets in your brain. It's like, you need to get out of here. It's like maybe there's a fire in the building.
Yeah.
You just got to jump out of the window to
Right.
Yeah.
Even if I splat, at
Yeah.
least I have the chance of landing. Whereas
Yeah.
staying in the building, there's no.
For sure,
that I'm
yeah.
not. Yeah. That's a foregone conclusion. Yeah. And that's, for a lot of us, I think it has to get that bad. It just. It's crazy, but I almost think of it as almost like a near-death experience.
Yeah.
Like people who have NDEs, you know, like when it, like, pops off in their head, and then they see, like some people actually have died, they've lost their heartbeat, whatever, and then they come back changed, and it's like I think getting to that point in your life changes you, like you said. Like, there's a click, and then you can. That's when you find the power to get out of it.
It could be like a rebirth, right? It's like the phoenix rising from the ashes. Like, you become ashes, though. You gotta become ashes. Yeah.
Yes. There was nothing left in that life for me anymore. There was lots of things I loved and stuff, but none of that was worth staying. And so, your friend's gonna, to anyone, it's hard.
It's hard.
Yeah, because you see all the signs. Like, you are there and you see the signs, and they're so clear. And it's because it's hilarious. When I was in a relationship with the guy, and he was kind of had these narcissistic traits, and I left him. She sends me a book about narcissistic behavior. She's
Your
like,
friend.
Everything in this book reminds me of him. And he was, and I'm thinking, I was rolling my eyes like, girl, you always see other people's things.
So much easier to see it in others.
It's so much easier to see other people's things. When you're in it, I don't think you notice the stuff as clearly, because there is emotion in it. You don't know?
So cloudy.
Yeah,
so
it clouds your judgment.
So your friend, who's very clearly in a narcissistic relationship, was sending you videos about.
But she said
you're in a book. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. At least she's got some awareness.
Like she said, I read this book and I saw so many traits of your ex.
Your ex.
Good, because she was seeing traits of your ex. My gal, she sends me a video about narcissistic behavior, referring to her guy. Like, look, he's such a narcissist.
Yes.
That's another level.
I know.
Yeah.
We've established that already. But, and it's like, what are you gonna do? And like last time I told her, but how, like, where are you? Like, how done are you? Like, how fed up are you? She's like, 9 on 10. I have to get to 10 on 10 to get out. Like,
what?
She's conscious
She's
of it.
got awareness.
She's conscious that she has to free fall, hit the ground, splatter on the ground, and then she'll try to pick herself up. Okay, that's sad, right? Like, to be conscious of it, and you have help, but I guess, it is what it is.
There's something that's still there that still needs it, and until that part is gone, that's the only, like, those pieces need to get
burns like enough.
That's what I mean. That it burns off. That it gets so painful that thing finally burns off, and then you don't need to satisfy that anymore.
But what's the real advice to women who are in these kinds of relationships? Is the advice like, okay, just go, just wait until it's like you're...
You can always give advice, and it's up to them to use it or not. You cannot do that for them, you know what I mean? Unless you kidnap them. They're gonna resent you for this.
But until they want it for themselves, that's like forcing someone into rehab. If they don't want it for themselves, none of those things work.
See?
Right.
Either she's gonna resent you for doing that. Like, if you just kidnap her and take her away from that person, something in her is gonna be still longing for that thing, and maybe her next relationship is gonna be the same.
Yeah.
Because
true.
she hasn't healed that part of her that draws this type of her. I'm so wise.
You read the book your friend sent you.
Yes.
No, but seriously, I'm just talking from experience. I've done it. Like, I've been with somebody, and I broke up with him, and I came back to knowing the signs, and seeing the signs, and feeling that gut, that like when they do something, it's like, ugh. And I told them, and everything, and then I went back, and I got hit worse. And then I learned.
You gotta learn.
You're a quick learner.
Alone. I did. I saw everything, and I was like, I can't be in this relationship. This is insane. It's just insane. Trying to find excuses. But he is like this. But no, he doesn't do it all the time. I mean, you know the things that... and then you have to walk on eggshells so he doesn't burst into an anger.
But that's all you knew, because as a child you knew eggshells.
Yeah.
I didn't know you could live not on eggshells.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I think I just
Right.
like that was just
That's
that's
my-
just
my
how
whole-
it's like
Yes. That's
that
human
was my
nature.
water, that was my air.
My whole childhood was
Yeah.
walking on
Yeah.
eggshells.
So of course you continue to make excuses because that's that's how we learned how to deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that you said what can you do? Like I think we're doing it. Like
Show
just
it up for them. Just show it up how
but
you
even
do.
that can be hard, you know, like when their series all the same. So it's like invite them out, have a good life, invite them to join you at any point,
Yeah.
Right.
and then when they want that enough for themselves, when they see you having a good time, you show them what's possible.
I got two testimonies just yesterday and the week before about how I have changed into something that they were so amazed by how calm I am. Yesterday, I was talking to my friend on the phone, and I was just telling her about our event and how I was like smiling, even though people were running crazy. Like some women were hostile, and I was just thank you and she told me, you know what? And she said something to me, like just playfully, but she just told me like, oh, go fuck yourself. And I like usually if she said, you would have said that, and I would be like, no, you go fuck it.
Yeah.
And I told her, that was really uncalled for. Like you can. I was just talking to her like, and because she was talking about her husband, and I told her something, and deep down she didn't like the fact that I
Told
said
her
something
that,
about.
yeah.
But she says worse things about him, and I said, I'm sorry. Are you offended that I said something like that about him? She said, no. And then she said, I'm really sorry I said that. I said, it's fine. And I said, it's just, I'm not used, and she said it in Arabic, and it sounds really harsh. And I said, I haven't been insulted in a long time. That's why I don't know. And she was like, you know, Lamia, I am so impressed that you are speaking to me like this. She's like, how do you do it? How do you do it? Because I was telling her how I was having fun and just talking to them. And these women were like, and everybody was like angry and this. And I was just like, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it to just be. She's like, oh my God, teach me. So I was like, what? Teach me your ways, master. And I was like,
You used to be such a feral bitch. Now look at you.
yeah, you used to be just like this.
How the hell did you?
What happened?
Smoke weed every day.
Smoke weed every day.
Mama weed, baby.
Yes.
Like,
Our mother.
I'm starting to become this Zen master. Yes. Like everybody's like, even my other friend, she's like, you're starting to become such a hippie now. I'm like,
Dude, you should see me dance.
Hippie.
We were doing breath work and sound baths.
Yeah.
and it's all good. And at least if I reach that stage where I don't get angry and the little things don't trigger me, I was like, it's just.
You've arrived.
It's nice.
Yeah.
It's nice to hear that from people. Who used
Of course, to get that
who knew you
confirmation,
for
that
like over
validation.
7-8 years. So that's
They can see such a
amazing.
marked difference. It's so cool.
I'm such
Yeah.
an inspiration.
That's
You
so
are.
nice.
But that's my point.
That's
It's
cool.
like that's the only way
Yeah.
we can help other people is just by continuing to doing our own work.
Like modeling it in a way.
Exactly. Like, because when people see it in you, they're like, I want that. What is, like, she's like,
That's
teach
exactly
me.
what she said to me.
She's
She
like,
said, "I
whatever
want
you
that.
have, I want that."
She said, I want that. She said, I am just angry all the time and I'm screaming at people. It's like, everybody's like, who talks to her at work, she just want to kill them. And I'm like, I can't do that. Seriously, I'm not, it's not worth it.
Fun guy.
So I kept telling her, fun guy. It's not
Shove it in her mouth. That's the intervention we need. Bring them by the hair and shove mushrooms. And it's like, okay.
Force them to chew.
Put
Yeah.
mushrooms in their soup and
Yeah.
give it to them.
You know?
I don't know, man. It's nice to hear. Actually, I'm just.
That's
I'm so
amazing.
happy
And
that-
you feel it too, right? Don't you feel
course.
like you've calmed down?
Calm down. I'm letting go of a lot of things that don't serve me. I come home. First of all, I'm tired, so I don't want to start fighting with anybody. I just want to come home. I say hi to my kids. Did you eat? Did you know what I ate? Go find something.
Did you eat? Oh, go over there and make it.
There's food in the
Kitchen's right there.
Yeah.
If I have some energy, I will cook. If I don't have energy, I will not cook.
Nice.
And I'm seriously, I just this zenitude that I
Yeah.
have now that is just amazing.
That is amazing. That's great.
So
Yeah.
I'm like a poster girl for
For
this type of.
Yeah, for letting letting go
yeah.
of these things that we thought were important. You know, it's just like that's what gets offended. Your sense of self-importance through the eyes of another. But as soon as you don't need that importance from an eyes of another, as long as you've got it inside yourself, it doesn't matter what anyone. And so like you're suddenly the thing. No one can bother you. Nothing can affect you.
Absolutely.
You're fine. You're whole. And so
I saw this morning a little reel with that Mike Tyson, somebody like in a podcast. He
big
asked-
mushroom guy.
Mike Tyson? Well, this is why I was like, I was just amazed. The guy asked him, why would you want people to know about you that they don't know already? And he said, nothing, fuck them. No, he said, fuck you. Like, yeah, I don't care what you
I
think
don't
about
care.
you. Don't think of. And I was like, that's exactly how I think right now. I don't have to justify myself. You like it, you don't like it.
Yeah.
Fica com Deus.
Yeah.
Go with God.
Oh my God.
Just go. Yeah. Keep flowing along.
Yeah,
Find another
I'm not
currency to
embracing
hang out in.
Justifications.
Yeah.
I don't do that anymore. Like whatever you think about me, it's your problem. I don't.
Amen.
Yes.
That's amazing. That's so liberating, right?
So liberating and so foreign to the version of myself
yeah.
5 years ago, 6 years ago. Like that was a big lesson and a hard one to take in. But then once you're there, there's no going back.
There's no going back.
No.
That's something I learned actually from my son. He was always like, I don't like. He never justifies himself. He kept saying, I don't care what they think. I don't care. It's their problem. Like he's not faced with other
With
people's
people.
opinions of him.
Fantastic.
I'm
Wow.
like, you were born with this. I'm like so jealous that he was born with this kind of wisdom.
Well, and he also had a mom that gave him the space to not, you know,
Yeah.
to be who he is, that and use the skills that he
Well, I
was
think
born
it-
with,
I think he was born in a
like the
space
environment,
and
you
then
know.
the schools and people he grew up with were really nice people. Like his friends, he had good friends, and you know they were not judgmental. He was. I feel like I'm lucky that I was able to give them that, and he's showing up in so many ways. Like, oh my God, like you're done. Like it's just,
Yeah.
it's amazing to see that our children
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
have
That's
that,
true.
those tools already, and we are still 50 years.
Well, that's why, right? When we talk, we well, that ties in perfectly. Like you said, Kate, the best thing to do is to kind of like invite people and just tell them, well, come to our
You're
environment.
always
and
invited
see,
in.
you know, and
Yeah.
kind of like feel it, and when they're ready or if it resonates. And so this is why it's important, and we all believe that, to build a community.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Yes.
to
On the
build a
ground.
on-the-ground community, face-to-face community, although online is valid as well, and I'm sure it helps a lot.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to be learned,
Yeah.
but the delicacy of our networks, which we're seeing in the last couple of days, like you can't rely on that. So that's
No.
why, like in person, I know where you live.
Yeah.
If all
Yes.
the power goes out, I can
We
walk
can
to your
gather,
house.
yes,
yes.
yeah.
We could still gather and
Yeah.
still be together and rely on that community. So how do we go about building a community?
I feel like we're doing it really well already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
And like,
true.
Like how, but like, what are the next steps? Like your idea of using this podcast as a way to like, get to know people, get to other people to share what they're doing. Like I imagine there's got to be some pretty cool like urban gardening people who can come in and talk about the stuff they're doing.
Permaculture. Yeah, I'd love to know more about that.
Yeah, like or like community events. I feel like that that event we went to dancing on the other night. They do events pretty regularly. It's like although that seemed like it'd be a pretty cool crew to know and give to be a part of whatever they're doing, or they can come be a part of whatever we're doing. Like I think there's just so many avenues now, and I'm finding once you do reach that wholeness, it's so much easier to find your people. Like it's you when you're vibrating very clearly. It's just and when there's now contradictions or whatever. I mean, it's harder to think that way because you don't really know what's going on. But once you're more clear, it's so much easier to identify other clear people. So I'm excited about. I'm excited about everything. Like it's like it was such a wild time to be alive right now. But
wild being the proper term.
And just like how do we get people, like, do we have room on the couch? We've got to.
We're gonna bring a guest. Where we're gonna put them?
Yeah. Well,
Gonna be next to Lam.
Of me.
Yeah.
Sit in my lap. Come here.
Depends on their gender. I sit on top of them.
We've got a little sandwich making going on over there.
It's a podcast with a spice, you know.
To talk to other people who are trying to build community. I feel like our work with Bread and Beyond is such a community event. Like
that's great. Do you think
one of them would like to come and share? Do they want to be associated with this podcast?
That's a good question. That is a great question. Where we talk about them sitting on you and
Oh, well, they know me. I always turn stuff to nasty little dirty talk.
But I mean, that's a great example. Like people who are already involved in community building locally would be great to get in touch with, and people who offer their services to communities locally. And I believe that if we focus on the local community here in Montreal, in Quebec, we have a lot already. Like there are so many people working in that direction, at least in different fields, but working towards that common goal to be of service, to commune, to gather, to build something new.
Yes. Yeah. And I think you're a big proponent of, we had a nice conversation not that long ago where you talk about Montreal special. Like there's something going on here.
I do believe so.
And then on Saturday, that was all reinforced when the performer, Mose, who's traveled all over the world, he's like, this is our biggest one we've ever done. 700 people. He's like, he said, this is a treat for us. It's like, we were here in 2019 and there were like 30 people. Now we have like over 700.
Wow.
It's growing. He's like, but he's like, there's something in Montreal, like this. There's a community here, and so it was just like another little check in that column. There's something going on in Montreal.
Conscious community here. People are aware, and people are open. Their hearts are open. I do find that Montreal is special. Montreal or Quebec, like. Montréal et environ. Yeah, but not to say just if you're outside the island, you don't, Fuck you. You're not welcome. You don't get to be better than all.
No, I love Quebec.
Just saying that this province, this province is, I think it's special. I don't think it's a fluke or it's a coincidence or any of those terms that the three of us who are not born here are here.
Yeah.
And we're three of many who just found themselves here. There's a reason for that, I believe.
I think that's part of what makes it special is that
Yes.
there's so many foreigners.
There are so many light workers in Montreal. That's my statement.
Yeah.
Yes. Not that I've been all over the place and I've taken count,
Well, you
of
have
other
been all over the
places.
place. You've been enough places.
But I've been in enough places, and I've been enough in that field to kind of see, first of all, how it's grown exponentially. And the example you just gave with like 30 in 2019, 700
Yeah.
5 years later, that's pretty exponential growth.
Yes.
So it's being shown now. It's like tangible that this is unfolding here, in big numbers. So
Yeah.
it's exciting.
Yeah, and as it grows, it's going to become less like what'd you say you're a hippie or something like there's
less
there's,
marginal.
Yeah, like let's bring it off the margins and let's
more
bring
common
it.
and
Yeah.
normal thing
Yeah.
to do.
Yeah, because
It's gonna-
hippie is a bit like, I don't know, honestly.
It's loaded.
For me, I've always been called a hippie. Like I've always been the hippie friend,
Yeah.
the woohoo, the
woo,
whatever,
yeah, the woo chick, yeah.
So, but it's always felt like with like a negative connotation to it, like not the greatest compliment, or like kind of dismissive, like you're a hippie,
Yeah,
like you're in
right.
your own corner, like But now I think people are like, wow.
We need to learn from the hippies.
Hippie.
I know I've learned a lot
But
from them.
I agree. It's not a term that I would use. So, hippie is what? It's just.
Well, and maybe hippie's not maybe the best word to use.
Well, I felt it like that when she said you're a hippie, because that day I was not wearing a bra.
So she had a little bit like of a thing too.
I was not wearing a bra.
Your hair is full.
My hair was just curly and natural, and I was just wearing that dress, like this flowy kind of dress. Anyway, so she was
Smoking your joint. Like, I don't know where she got this idea I was a hippie.
But at the same time,
That's like
I felt
totally-
like that she was envious at the same time.
Right.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So, and then she's like, oh yeah, but you look happy. And
Yes.
Yeah.
and I'm so happy for you. She said that. Like,
Yeah.
she's like, I feel like you're living your best life. And I'm like, oh yeah. And she's like, oh, well, you're a hippie. But
Yeah.
I felt like, yeah, well, I don't know.
Hippies
It's not a
unite.
hippie. I'm just happy, not a hippie.
I'm a happy hippie. Hippie is happy. No, but you were saying you were.
Well, yeah, as it grows, it can't help but become more, I would say, mainstream or whatever. But
Yes.
yeah, like people who are representing this in a way that just makes it easier for people who are maybe a little afraid of it it's like to be the bridge,
Yeah.
to be this connection of. You don't have to be vegetarian. You don't have to be clean.
Yeah.
You don't have to smoke pot all day. Like it's like there's these really crazy cliches. Yeah. And I've been guilty of it, like for sure, like of seeing that world that way. But it's like no, this isn't about any of that stuff. This is just about loving yourself enough that you can actually really love other people. And like it's just such a, and I think. I didn't know that I wasn't able to love myself. I didn't know until I was 45 years old what even loving myself even felt like. And I think because it was never modeled to me. And so, so to be that model now, like when people come up to you and like total strangers are telling you, I love your energy. It's like people aren't used to seeing this. It's a kind of a rare thing. And when people do see it and they're ready to want it for themselves, they recognize it and be like, oh, that, whatever that is, that feels good. Like, I want what you're having kind of thing. And so that's the community I want to build. Like, it doesn't matter. I don't care, like,
Yes.
who you vote for or whatever. That's all just like such a, like, these are like clothes we wear. Like, let's get to the soul level and building community around those ideas.
Around this work and
so it's exciting, like to get that reinforced. Like yes, Montreal is
And we're here.
scene for this type of
There's.
and because people come from all over the world and they need something. You get away from your family. You don't have anybody. Like some people come just like find themselves,
Yeah.
or just a couple, or like with kids, and they all need something to relate to. They need to build a kind of community. I think that's a really fertile ground for this thing to grow. And I felt it also because I was an expat for like the past 27 years. So when I lived in Dubai, I felt it not in the same extent, but like there was that component of like people looking for community because everybody's an expat.
Yeah.
And the people who like the Emiratis, they don't mix with the expat. So you don't even have.
It's kind of like Quebec.
But I like maybe in 12 years, I spoke to one or two.
Wow.
And at school, there was one Emirati woman who spoke to me.
Wow. So it really is two separate worlds in that city.
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
crazy.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
just
It's a bit extreme.
want to have anything to do with us. And that kind of even like the spirituality was very big there, like because there was a lot of Indian people, Indian are there.
Yes.
Like so, I used to go to all these gong things and
nice.
the meditation things and all this. So there was a ground for that as well
In Dubai,
So that was like kind of the other extreme of Dubai.
Yeah.
People who are more spiritual, and then you have the other people who are like very shallow, very just
Materialistic,
materialistic. They just
Dubai
wanna-
bling.
Dubai bling. That's it. It was really like if you want that, you have it, and if you want that,
There's a real, the split is very
It's
visible.
crazy.
Yeah. And there is something about, we've probably talked about before, but like leaving your family, like being an expat and not having, like that cracks you open in ways that, and makes you, I said for me, it's a big part of my journey. Like, I think if I had not moved to Canada, like stayed in the Twin Cities or whatever, I don't think the growth that I've experienced as an adult would have even been possible. Like, it was because I left my family and had to then learn how to recreate the balance, like how I viewed my parents, my relationship with them. Like, that wouldn't have, I don't think any of that would have happened if you stay close to family. There's the growth that comes from having to kind of stand on your own feet. Like, that's and not that my family's not supportive or whatever, but it's very different when there's miles and miles and miles between you, rather than being in,
because I like just like you, I felt like I spent more of my energy just dealing with them.
Yeah.
And fighting them with, you know what I mean? Like,
of course.
You just have,
trust me.
All your energy goes towards just dealing with their drama and how they want you to do things their way, and you just have to agree, and then you have to, and then you're lost, kind of. Just you don't know who you are. You don't like you want to do things, but they don't agree with them, and they feel guilty. It was just a lot of stuff to deal with. So when you get away from it, you just do. It's like freedom.
It's an eye opener. Because you don't even realize. I don't think you would even know that. Like, if your parents are calling you every day, or if you're always doing stuff with family, if that's just all you've known. And there's beautiful parts to that too, like these people who have the big Portuguese family and they have a wedding or a birthday, like that's really sweet. I love that some people get to have that and whatever.
The
but
festivities,
and
the gatherings,
because we lose when we
lose
like
that.
I. Being here since my 20s, like, I've missed so many family events, and it was only until recently that I'm starting to build a family where we can do that. You know, that's what you guys are. We're building our own family, which without any of the drama, which is pretty amazing. When you get to pick your own family, that's a big upside of chosen family.
Guys, we need a guest that talks about hormones and menopause.
How you doing, babe?
No, but
you're
like,
having
look
a
at
hot
me.
flash
Yeah,
now?
clearly.
Yeah.
God,
I get
crazy.
drenched, and honestly, in my life, I've never sweat from like the inside of my hands. Like, I didn't even know you could sweat from your palms that much. Like it drips from my palms. Like it's not normal the amount of sweat that's been going on in my body.
Has the gym helped?
You need to go see a doctor.
But what's
Yeah.
the doctor gonna say?
Like they're gonna talk about hormone replacements. I don't know if I want to take hormones.
I don't want to take hormones.
But you know, this is tough.
Yeah.
Not sleeping very well.
I've been reading about like how did Asian women deal with menopause, and I couldn't find anything. Like I think
Well, I don't.
everybody had
Herbs.
They don't. They have some herbs and foods and stuff that you can use.
Yeah.
Like I found just something about Japanese people, and they are the one who live the longest. One of the people, and it's mostly the soy and the seaweeds,
Seaweed.
kelp, and everything.
Having that in your diet?
Yeah, in your diet.
That's what they think it
Yeah.
helps with the.
Yeah.
helps with their menopause.
Yeah.
But
No, a lot of herbs.
we're
yeah.
losing the ancient ways of doing things, and that's what I'm
Yes, and don't forget the ancient ways of doing things was also based on like how effective it was based on the diet that they had and the lifestyle they had up to that time, which is not our case. You know, like what we've put into our body is not what the ancient women put in their body. So we need more like drastic and solutions, but no, I'm very hesitant with although every single friend that I have that's suffered like a lot with those symptoms, which for me are mainly fatigue and the hot flashes that are extreme. Once they were on a hormone replacement, it's like, oh my god, like their life changed and they feel amazing. They have a new lease on life and
Wow.
but I don't know why. There's something inside of me that's very resistant to that, to taking hormone replacements.
Yeah, I totally understand. Me too.
Why do you think?
I don't know. I have a lot of distrust of the medical industry in
Right,
general
yes,
nowadays.
me too, so
and I
maybe
also
that's-
worked really hard. Like a big part of my healing was getting off of all the medication. Like, through my life, I was on antidepressants and various things for anxiety, and then to finally, and then lots of
Really?
ibuprofen. Yeah,
You're on, like on SSRIs
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah.
And you
I'm not on anything. And I used to,
that's amazing, Kate.
yeah, so it's like now, like the idea of like going back on something is just like, wait a minute, I was on medications for all through my 30s and most of my 40s. It's like, and now I'm not on anything. It's like, now I want to, but, and what, it was not, maybe 2 summers ago, my hot flashes kind of set in, just kind of this time of year too. And yeah, it took a while, but now I get hot flashes, but they're so mild.
Okay.
They're really not that bad. I feel, as I was asking about like the gym, do you feel like that's helping? Like kind of
Honestly,
releasing?
I feel like it's made them worse.
Oh, yeah?
You're sweating more.
I feel like all I do is
body
sweat all day.
temperature is higher. But
Yeah.
menopause is very personal. Like each woman goes
So different.
Like my hairdresser, she was going nuts. She said,
You can tell with your hair.
Yeah. I have old stuff.
Yeah, she just kind of like crazy.
She buzzed you.
She was like, you having a rough day? How are those hot flashes going?
Yeah.
She told me she wanted to kill her husband. Like she said, the poor guy, I just can't. He's so patient. She's like, don't touch me. Don't get. She was drenched, and she is angry, and she's like, and she went, and she saw a doctor, and she started, and she's like,
Changed
I
her
lost
life.
so many years just being miserable. So it's kind of what do you want? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
some women have been through like they become hysterical.
And
they want to kill everybody. And, like people, they don't recognize their wives or their mom. Or so I read so many testimonies about people who are going through so much, and they go to the doctor. They give them antidepressant. That's all they do to them.
Yeah.
They don't even suggest hormone replacement therapy to them.
So they just they just go on to put them on. They think it's like a form of depression or...
Yeah, because she's like, they're crying, they don't know what to do, they don't want to go to work, they cannot remember
Brain fog,
anything.
Yeah, the brain fog is a big problem.
Horrible.
Not for me. I don't feel like I have the brain fog.
I have it.
I don't know.
Even with
I don't know, I'm
the
just
hormones?
an idiot or...
Yeah.
No, but the real brain fog, like my...
The one where I can't find common words.
Okay, yeah.
That's my
So I
brain
don't know. Yeah, because my friend here, she's a lawyer, so she's sharp. But now that she's going through menopause, the biggest thing for her was the brain fog, because she'd be like presenting an argument, and then she would blank out.
Oh, jeez.
So it was affecting her careers, and yeah, she had to
It's
go.
a good thing we don't have careers that can be affected by
Just this podcast, and we're talking like,
See, I'm sad. Yeah,
Sometimes I feel like, I don't remember words. It's very embarrassing.
That's
Toiletries. I forgot the word toiletries.
Toiletries? What's a toiletry?
Toiletries.
A tree in a toilet.
Yeah.
Not a toilet in a tree.
So
What did you want to say? Or something.
No, I don't remember.
No.
I want to find somebody, and maybe it could be one of the guests, because we're gonna have so many
But here,
they can
they're
choose
not very
from.
advanced in hormonal replacement.
No, but someone to do it
Europe-
like alternative way.
Yeah. In the UK, there are some people who are really good with the normal, like the natural way.
Natural way.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we need
I will
to
say
find
this,
someone
though.
here.
Maybe this is what I was going to say. That this idea of like the hot flashes are making you angry and whatever.
It's not the hot flashes that make you angry. It's the hormone, the lack of estrogen.
Right.
Because estrogen is the female hormone, and it regulates all our body function. So when it lacks, your body goes out of whack.
Yes.
See that, and then
You're out of balance. And you're used to having it. Now it's gone, and so you're.
It's like thyroids. When you don't have that, and you don't have the hormone, then your body you start getting weight. You start becoming fatigued, and everything. So you need something to replace that hormone. Like you need it for your body to do its function. So that's why I'm.
Right, with the hypo or the thyroid.
The hyper and the hypo.
Hypo.
Yeah.
But I think this is, the shadow work will help with all this as well. Like if the switch in hormones is, I would argue it's not making you angry. It's just bringing up anger that's already there. It's like another opportunity. It's an opportunity. If you find yourself feeling anger, it's because there's something inside of you that needs to express anger. There's something inside of you that needs to be felt and processed. And so just like going again back to like doing that kind of work, yes, hormones can be helpful, but I think it's also, this is another opportunity to be like, yes, there's stuff inside you that still needs to heal. And menopause is showing you that. Because I don't know if that's going to help with hot flashes. You still get hot, but if that's bringing on anger or sadness, if you find yourself crying over, that means there's some grief inside you that still needs to come out. Like this is again where mushrooms and shadow work, therapy, like just taking a pill so that you don't feel these things anymore. It's like, sure, you can do that, but it is, you're not giving yourself a chance to open up some things that are clearly ready to be opened up now.
True. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's as a natural form of
shadow work, mushrooms
as part of shadow work.
Yes, as part of shadow work. But yeah, and I'm sure there's a lot of herbs that are very powerful, and also diet, because there's a lot of estrogen in food that we can get.
Alcohol is one of the triggers of hot flashes.
Like, I don't drink a drop of alcohol.
And then she goes and she drinks half a bottle of wine every single day. She's, I can't, like, what happened? And the doctors, they tell them you need to limit your consumption of alcohol, but they don't want to do that. Yeah. So there's a lot of...
cutting out alcohol really, I think, was a big... Having pretty severe hot flashes 2-3 years ago, to now where they're very mild, they're very, like, obviously the passage of time, but I think, getting alcohol mostly out of my system, I think probably is a significant factor of that as well. For
God damn, thank God. Imagine I drank on top of it.
Yeah.
And you've been good about sugar, so because sugar is...
all this, even caffeine, like if you drink too much coffee, it doesn't help. Like it triggers, like there's a lot of food that triggers
I've cut out sugar, but I feel like, I don't drink. I drink 1 coffee now instead of like 3, no sugar, and this is when I'm like getting them the most. But I like to, take care of my narrative sometimes, even though it's only between me and me, but I also believe like these combustions that are happening, they're healing as well. Like there's something adjusting in the body. So because this is perimenopause, and then when menopause hits, when
you're fully done,
done. You're like in a new body, and you're solid, and it's like there's a whole era of
that's the osteoporosis.
Unless you have osteoporosis, you're not gonna be solid.
Unless you have osteoporosis, yes. And get on your vitamin D.
Exercise.
But
exercise, lifting weight is
weight
so
training.
We're
weight.
just talking, we're not doing it.
No, weight.
We're like those women who's like they understand narcissists and they see narcissists like, I know what health looks like, but I'm not actually doing it.
I do it sometimes. Like I try.
No, weightlifting is my next step. It's the next step, right?
You look amazing, by the way.
Oh, thank you. 2 weeks
Whatever you're
at the gym.
doing, it's that. But that's how quickly it can shift, and not that you ever look bad.
No, thank you.
But like it's just like when I saw you there, it was like, oh my God, you were glowing in a way I've never seen.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So it's working. Yeah, I mean, I'm really careful about what I'm eating. I'm not eating sugar or like processed sugar. Get my sweets from like fruits in the morning only. So yeah, I'm paying attention to myself. I'm paying attention to what I'm putting in my body. And yeah, I thank you.
Is this just like a general, like, because I want to feel good, or is it really the menopause, because of the perimenopause?
Let's go reflective. No, I didn't do it for the menopause reason. No, it's very reflective to the conversation that we started with, which is I got to a point where I wasn't feeling great about myself, where there are outside factors, that I felt were out of my control, that, were making me feel badly. So for me, and this is not the first time I do that, but I do allow myself to get to these points. When I do what I feel is the only thing to do, is just take control of myself, So when things are like outside are like, it all looks like a shit show, then I'm like, okay, girl, this is the time. Let's go. And I like to do it like all in, not like one thing at a time.
You're a cold turkey kind of
guy. I like
out.
all in, I wake up and that's it. I'm that person now that doesn't eat and doesn't do this and goes to the gym and it works. It makes you feel good, physiologically and also psychologically, where that taking control of yourself, it starts reflecting, the things that you were perceiving as a shit show, they started dying down, It's sort of changing your frequency.
Right.
Rising your frequency back up. Like, oh, I'm in a range that doesn't serve me, doesn't suit me, I don't like it. I needed to be there for some reason and clear out some things. But now I need to take control of things and raise my frequency, and that's what I see it now. I don't know if this is being good for menopause, because like I said, my hot flashes have never been this intense.
Nobody's gonna say
no, but the hot flashes these past 2 weeks, I don't know. Also, full moon, super moon, solar flare, Schumann resonance, boo.
Warm September. It's been a warm month.
Warm.
Yeah, no rain. We've got very little rain. Yeah.
So, but thank you.
Yeah.
That feels good.
Are the kids seeing a difference in you? Like, did they? You're not home as often.
Well, yeah, no. They see me go, but the kids have seen me do this. I go through this cycle often. This is not the first time I do this, as I said. And maybe that's why it shows fast. Because even muscle memory, I'm like, wow, okay, my abs are coming. But that's because
seeing
I've done
results very
this.
quickly.
Yeah, I've done this many times, and the kids. You can only model. I mean, they see me like, wow, you're going every day, like you're sticking to it, which is kind of of course, it's a little bit of a fire up my butt, but I don't want to quit, now that I claim.
They're watching you now.
yeah. They're like, oh, okay, are you really gonna go now every day to the gym? Are you really gonna stick to this kind of cleanse? But they've seen it, so they know it will go on for a bit.
And that I've found that intensity doesn't have to when there were times in my life where it's like, oh yeah, I need to change this. I wasn't happy with the version of myself that was acting that way. I would do some things and it would kind of get me to the next level. I didn't need to stay at that level. It's not like, oh, I'm going to be this person now forever. It's just like, oh no, I need to get this to get to the place where it's like, oh, okay. And then you can kind of pull back a little and find a new thing to obsess about.
Exactly. Yes. Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. Yes. But so what do we do next? We need a guest next podcast.
Yeah, we gotta find a guest. We gotta.
Yeah.
I think the community building and the idea of done complaining. I think those two things really do go into hand. It's to be community builder, you need to recognize that there's something that I either want to. I don't want to say. I guess there is a change, or I want to be part of something moving forward, but you can't, if you bring complaining energy to that, you can't build.
No, we don't.
And so I like that that's kind of what we've already started here. Even the name of our podcast is, even though it's not directly, but there is something inherent to community building that requires, I'm not looking for problems, I'm looking for solutions. I'm done complaining about these. Yeah. And so it's maybe we bring on a guest and we're like, okay, the name of the podcast is Done Complaining. What are you done complaining about? Or what are you, we kind of start the conversation there and let them kind of tell us what they're passionate about, what they're doing,
That's a great,
how we can...
great idea.
How they're improving their lives and growing, whatever positive is happening in their lives.
Movement forward, because done complaining implies that now we're moving forward to something better.
Higher vibration.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah,
so it's movement forward and something bigger than us. We're coming together for the common good. So I like that. The done complaining. We can open with that. Are you done complaining? Yeah. That's what we ask our guests. Are you done complaining?
You're not. Okay, then
if not, you have 10 minutes, 5 minutes.
Figure it out. Stop bitching.
You're no more bitching. Yeah. Yeah, complaining energy. It's the opposite of gratitude. If you... It pushes away. It pushes everything good away from you.
True.
That complaining energy. So it's just let's bring in people who are... They're done complaining. To be a community builder means you're done complaining. You're taking action. You're moving forward. So I love that idea of let's get to know these people more. Let's bring...
So we'll do a little research and see who's going to be our first victim.
It may take some time. Next year might be the three of us, but moving forward, we're going to. I got to buy another mic stand.
Right. Yes, we need more equipment. Yeah.
Yeah. It's lovely to see you guys. I feel like I didn't think we would. Wasn't planning on taking the summer off, but it ended up happening that way. But it was a crazy summer.
It was a crazy summer. So
it was the best summer.
Yeah. It was pretty great.
It was really
good. It was a great summer for you. The shit show for me. Oof.
Well, Magda had a hard one.
A fucking shitty summer. Yeah. No, I'm not complaining. Stating things.
Just
it was a challenging time, but we grow from these times, and so much clearing has been done, so much nettoyage.
Yeah.
So
With the family and
yeah, especially family, because family is where all the deep layers are, right?
that's
You
where we
know?
get that's where,
Yeah,
where
you
that
think you're
baggage comes
done, and
from.
then your family shows up, and you're like, ah.
All
Yeah.
right, put you to the test.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'm grateful. I'm not complaining. I'm grateful for them to have done that because, yeah, it's good to clean things up.
And it could have been worse, right? Like, I mean, as fast
Yes,
as
it
it
can
was not the
always
summer
be
you.
worse. That's
Yes.
a fact.
That's good.
You know.
That's a good, yeah. That could be the alternate title of this podcast. It could always be worse.
You know, it's like actually, you know, because my mom was at the hospital, and then they were complaining, and oh my god, and how come this isn't that, you know, and I'm like, thank God it's this, and thank God, you know, I'm like, it could have been worse, and then my sister's like, what do you mean it could have been worse? And I'm like, it can always be worse.
Yeah.
Like, trust, you know, it could always be worse. That's a slippery slope. The
Great.
worst.
Yeah. You think this is the worst? The universe, I can show you worse. You want worse?
Don't tempt
Yeah.
fate, please. Yeah.
If you can't find something with gratitude in this situation, let me put it a little deper and see if we can get you that gratitude space.
Yeah.
All right. I love you, ladies. I know.
You're too far.